Okay.
I don't know what all's here now. I see Iowa Turf Graft is. The north window was my office from roughly 79 to 99.
Okay, so you started the insurance business before 1979.
69.
69. So
Yeah.
where was your office before that?
You know, I didn't think about those when we were going around Ames. We had one.
Oh, I remember, right by the DOT.
Well, there was one right across from the DOT.
Yeah.
But I was in 3 different offices in Ames for the first 9 or 10 years.
And you shared those offices with other people.
Well, the first 2 were shared, and that was 422 Lincoln Way. And then
Is that the one by the DOT, 422 Lincoln Way?
that's the one. I don't know what else was around there.
It would have been further east.
Howard's sewing machine business was upstairs,
Okay.
and we were in the basement.
Oh, okay, okay.
And then when we moved, the whole bunch of us moved to right across north of the DOT, and that it was an apartment building upstairs and offices downstairs. And then I moved on my own separately into a real estate office, Dale Tryon's real estate office out west on Lincoln Way. Pretty well to the west edge of town back in those days. And then I moved up here in 70, 78, 79, somewhere along in there, I don't remember.
And you had an office by yourself here then for about 20 years?
Yeah.
Until you retired?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. With the Casey's store right next door. With the Casey's store right next door, and then the suburban restaurant over here. And I remember eating just good old-fashioned greasy food.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what it was, right? You could get a salad or something if you were lucky, but usually it's like the big tenderloins and the hot beef sandwiches and.
That's what put the blood clots in there. But it was good eating.
Yeah.
Just wasn't good for you.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, over here it was pizza and tenderloin, or pizza and sandwiches.
Yeah, not many good choices around. Okay, so how did you end up selling insurance as kind of an independent, self-employed guy, coming from a factory kind of punch-the-clock occupation?
You started this question earlier, but you didn't realize it.
Oh.
You were talking to me. We didn't have the camera on then, I don't think, or the receiver on, but you were talking to me about how I got into the mobile home park and investments and stuff like that. Towards the tail end of that time, when I was still working for Bourne's, I had the urge to do my own thing somehow. And I didn't know what. I just envisioned myself selling something, and if I had a big garage, I'd keep my stock in the garage, and that way I'd have everything right at home. And so as it was coming up to the point where Bourne's was moving their newly started engineering department to California again, I knew I wasn't interested in going, and I had this idea of some kind of a sales job in mind when I talked to somebody else who either had talked to or had a license with American Family and knew this district manager's name. And
Was that Bob Mudd?
Bob Mudd. And I said, well, I guess it's worth talking to him. I don't know. And so I just kind of went from there. It fit with my whole idea of doing my own thing, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So did you go full-time then? You left one position and went to the next one full-time?
Yeah. I didn't have any choice on the leaving. That was going to happen regardless of what I did. And again, I don't know, They had a guarantee program, and I had to meet certain qualifications to do that. And I was never a super sales personality, but I had a way of developing good long-term working relationships with people, and so that worked out.
And I know what that was because I've had people tell me it was the fact that you weren't a big salesperson kind of thing. You were honest, you were laid back, you were helpful and supportive, and so people just stuck with you. They trusted you. You were genuine, and they knew they could trust you, and they stuck with you.
My average policies per household count and my retention were very high. My initial sales were not. They weren't bad. They just weren't outstandingly high. But these other two figures, I was very high on.
But you developed a heck of an agency over those 30 years?
30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was comfortable with it. Bear in mind also that in the last 10 years of that, I had another challenge going on, and that was helping my parents with their move into the nursing home. And good thing. Turn right here, Bill.
Turn right.
And managing their financial affairs, which included taking care of a farm and seeing that it stayed rented, and watching after the investments they had, and taking care of selling their house and helping manage that.
You weren't really growing additional customers probably during that time.
I was or wasn't.
Probably weren't. Didn't have a lot of time for that.
Unfortunately, by then I'd hired Scott, and he was doing a very good job, and so he made up for some of my time away, but not all of it. But what I was doing was important to me. It wasn't as important to American Family, but it was still important to me and to our family.
Yeah.
Left up here, Bill.